let's look at the highs and lows of round 2 with hot or not. Okay, you're kicking us off this week, Finey.
Yeah, I'm going to start with a not, and it's GWS player retention. And the GWS had a great win on the weekend, but their cause for keeping players up on the west part of Sydney was done no good by Adam Treloar on Friday night. Did you hear his on-ground interview with Matthew Richardson?
I did.
He was at pains to point out how great it was to play in front of 80,000. Wonderful to play on the big stage. Almost, well, a slap in the face for GWS. They're not going to play in front of 80,000, and I think he made a very good case for coming down and playing for a big club.
Yeah, it certainly had a lot of atmosphere, that win, thrilling finish. Might be a while before the Giants get a bit of that. So, yeah, good one.
And just on that, hear from John later, but Lockie Whitfield hasn't signed yet, so maybe he was watching.
Okay, well, I'm going to kick us off this week with a hot, and it is Josh Gibson. What an amazing game for Hawthorn on Sunday. He's already an All-Australian player, but hard to believe North Melbourne ever let him go, and we're just seeing some action of him here now. 44 disposals. And the third goal of his career, there it is in the last quarter.
First for Hawthorn?
First for Hawthorn, yeah. And look, he doesn't just play loose though. He doesn't just get the cheapies. His ability to peel off and spoil, make the contest, do all those 1%ers. He recorded 14 1%ers in that win by the Hawks. An amazing effort. 44 disposals for any defender is unbelievable. But like I said, not just playing loose and rebounding. He gets back and helps out with the defensive stuff when he has to. He's an absolute gun, and no surprise that in one of the great sides of all time, he's a best and fairest winner with them. Your turn.
I've got a clear hot. Lockie Henderson has. Well, did you see the mark by Will Hoskin-Elliott?
Oh, yeah, here it is. Yep.
Don't worry about Hoskin-Elliott. Keep your eyes on the step ladder. There you go, Lockie. You've joined
illustrious club.
A very famous fraternity.
Name a few.
Well, of course, the great Brad Johnson, who many said Moorcroft was mark of the century, but, well, I think we've got more Hoskin-Elliott.
Well, it was worth showing again. And exactly the same
but
spot, too, where Byron Pickett took that grab in 98.
Oh, that's right, but better coverage there. Actually, that's a really good shot of Lockie Henderson. There's Brad Johnson, of course. Gary Moorcroft jumped all over the top of him.
Jerker Jenkin.
And the famous Jerker Jenkin, so famous that Tism wrote a song about him.
That's right. Okay, my second one is another hot. I'm going the positive route this week, and it's the Essendon fans. Those long-suffering Essendon fans went on the Make a Stand march from Federation Square to the MCG. They got 10,000 people in that march, and a lot of people were pretty cynical about it, wondered what the motives were, but it was simply getting behind the football club and showing that they're still part of the fraternity, and it was a real positive. Great vision and great atmosphere along the way, and then of course the Bombers came out and had an inspiring win, and it really, even the players remarked after the game that win and that whole day wasn't just about the team, wasn't even just about the club, it was about the whole Essendon family, and just a great day for everyone involved or with any sort of allegiance to Essendon. Finey.
Long suffering.
Yeah. Okay. We'll have this discussion later.
No, but I'm serious. No, I'll have it now. 3 years in the wilderness.
Yeah.
Try barracking for the Saints or the Demons. That's long suffering.
Well, that's why many don't. Okay, get on with it.
Oh, lovely. My last hot is actually a caller to 1116 SEN. Rang up on Saturday morning on crunch time, and I thought it was a ripper call. Have a listen to this.
David is in Camberwell. G'day, David.
Boys, just a couple of points quickly. The one tactic Dimmer did put in practice that they'd practiced throughout the pre-season was ending the game 3 minutes early. That worked well. If you recall, they tried to quit the game early, and maybe they thought the AFL gave them this time round.
Thank you very much for your call.
Very good.
And my last one is definitely a not, and it's the Fremantle Football Club. Boys, it turned sour quickly for them. They've lost 6 of their last 8 games now, if you take in the end of last season. Prior to that, they've lost 6 of 34 games. So I don't know what's happened, but a side that came out and won, 8, 9 games at the start of last season, they're being busted apart defensively, conceded 100-plus points 2 weeks in a row. Just seeing some vision here now of even Nat Fyfe reduced to this. How did he miss that?
Whoops.
That's about the crowning not nail in the coffin, but it looked ordinary. Lyon, first time Ross Lyon has lost first two games of the season in 10 seasons of coaching. People starting to question how they play, whether they're too old, whether they're too slow. Yes, I know only 2 games in, but they're in a bit of a pickle.
Yeah, look, there's alarm bells on a couple of players. I reckon 3 players. Matthew Pavlich, we know, played on for all the right reasons because they couldn't land McCarthy. But I've got real concerns for Mick Barlow. Great football story, but he's got no depth in his kicking, and maybe that broken leg's impacted on him. And Zach Dawson, there's no spot for Zach Dawson. Football no longer has a spot for a guy that gets 3 possessions a game, especially when he kept his opponent to a paltry 5 goals. I don't know whether there's room for Zach Dawson in a modern football team.
Well, is there room, on a broader perspective, is there room for Ross Lyon's methodology in the modern game? And I think this is a really important question. It's going to be fascinating this week to see whether he throws everything they worked on out the window and starts again or keeps the faith.
That's a great question. A really good question, Ro, because knowing Ross Lyon, he will revert back to strangle. And if that happens, he's going to lose the football purist out there, but he might get the 4 points.
Yeah, well, that's Sophie's choice, I suppose. Time for in a football sense. Time for a short break. And when we return, we won't just be stopping the presses, but starting your engines with all the news that's fit to digest.